Hi, and welcome to this new video on how to resuscitate a person. Otherwise known as CPR, which stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. But to keep it simple, we will not get into fancy words and complex stuff in this video. You will learn how you can save a life when it comes to it. Good on you for following this tutorial. It could one day save someone's life. Before you start CPR, always make sure you stay safe. To be able to understand how CPR works, we will use an analogy of a car. You see, when a car stalls, for instance, if it goes uphill, the engine could not quite make it up and stops running. The car is not broke, the engine is not broke, but it needs to be given a good push to make it run again. Before we begin pushing on someone's chest, we need to do some simple checks. Let's put everything in some easy to follow steps. 1. Shake the person and ask him or her, "Are you okay?" 2. Call for help. Ask a bystander to dial 911 in America or 999 in Great Britain, as well as 112 in Europe. 911 is the US emergency number which works across North America and many US territories. 999 is the UK emergency number which also works in many former British colonies and British overseas territories. 112 is the EU emergency number which works in India, UK and all EU countries, alongside any pre-existing country-specific emergency numbers. Ask them to confirm to you that they have called. 3. Open the airway using a so-called head tilt chin lift maneuver. Do this by simultaneously pressing down on the person's forehead with one hand to tilt the head back and use your other hand to lift the chin forward using your fingers to grab under the bony part of the chin. This way the airway is most open. 4. Now let's check for breathing. Put your ear next to the mouth and nose, look down at the chest to see if it rises and falls with respirations. Listen for exhalation. You should feel a flow of air. If person is not breathing, you will have to give 2 full breaths by putting your hand on the forehead using your fingers to squeeze the nose and blow 2 times. Gross. I know. You can use a mouth shield of a handkerchief or your t-shirt. Be creative. Look for the chest to rise and fall during your blowing. To check if the person has a pulse, you should check the carotid artery. To do that, you place your index and middle fingers on the neck to the side of the windpipe. If you feel a pulse, your main objective is to keep blowing air into the lungs. If you do not feel a pulse, you can maybe even check with your ear on the chest to see if you can hear a heartbeat. Never use your thumb. If you would use your thumb and you would feel a pulse, it most likely will be yours. You can't just push a car to restart it, you need to use a technique to make it work. In CPR you need to push too. There is a song playing in the car that helps you to find the right rhythm. It's a song called "Stayin' Alive" by the band Bee Gees. I cannot play the song here for you for copyright reasons, but if you do not know it, look it up, I'm sure you like it. Now you know the rhythm to push, you will need to look at where to push. To perform CPR you need to make sure the person is lying on the back, preferably on a hard surface. In this case we are going to perform a heart massage on a grown-up individual. Older cars have more risk of stalling on a hill. If the person has lots of clothes covering the chest area, consider opening the clothes to be able to find the bottom of the ribs. Once you can feel the ribs, try feeling with your ring finger next to your pinky along the bottom of the ribs and slide it towards the middle. There you will feel a bump. Next, put your middle and index finger next to your ring finger. Now comes the most important step. Put your left hand palm on the chest next to your index finger and put your right hand on your left hand and interweave your fingers. You can of course put your right hand first as you like and left on top, but remember the spot. Now sitting on your knees you can start pushing with straight arms. Remember the song? Now you know when to push and how to push, but you need to know how hard to push. That is 1.5 to 2 inches. Or 4 to 5 centimeters, which is roughly the thickness of your 2 hands on each other. Try to press and release completely, but do not lift your hands of the chest. This way you know you stay on the right place. If you are on your own, provide 2 breaths after each 15 compressions, pushes, and check for a pulse. After completing 4 cycles of 15 compressions and 2 breaths, continue doing this until help arrives. If however there is a friend that can help, let your friend provide 1 breath after every 5 compressions. Check for a pulse every minute for 3 to 5 seconds. If no pulse is present, continue CPR until professional help arrives. Well done, Now you know exactly what to do when someone breaks down. Thanks for watching this CPR video. Share it with your friends and maybe even come back to it in a while to refresh your memory. You never know whose life you will save. If you have ever had to do CPR and you want to share your story with others, write it down in the comments below this video. I am sure there will be lots of people that would love to hear your story. You have now made it to the end of this video. No worry, there are more on the way. If you have not subscribed, will you please consider to do so and hit the bell icon to be notified when the next video drops. Stay safe and once again thanks for taking the time to learn CPR.